Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk, a discussion about all things automotive. I'm Cory.
And I'm Matt, and each week this podcast will serve as a catalyst for discussion on all sorts of topics that grind our gears, rev our engines, or just need a bit more conversation.
And on this week's episode, we are reflecting and being thankful. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and we wanted to... Aw, how nice.
Reflective music.
Yes, so Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and we did not want to take anything for granted and just wanted to share some things over the past year that we have found ourselves here at GT Garage Talk to be thankful for.
Yes.
We've got a list. We may add more to it. We'll see where the conversation takes us. But Matt, do you want to start off with the first one?
Certainly. Cory, we made 1,000 subs on YouTube.
Not only that, Matt.
Yeah.
Within a month, we made 2.
Well, that was number 2 on my list. We made 2,000 subs on YouTube.
It's okay. So, for those of you all who, thank you, have subscribed to our YouTube channel and watched us attempt to review vehicles, especially I joke about attempting to review vehicles, referring specifically to the 1991 Lamborghini Diablo that showed up at my house.
Yeah, flabbergasted.
We had no words the entire time. No words. We were just laughing and giggling and
it was ridiculous.
Because who would have thought that we would have been behind the wheel of that car ever? That was beyond me. So thank you, Brad, for that. So add that to my thankful list.
Well,
91 Lamborghini Diablo at my house. But so yes, 5 months in to this whole little thing called YouTube, and we hit 1,000 subscribers on October 2nd, 2021, and it was surreal. We were preparing for our 2,000 subscriber, our 1,000 subscriber thank you video,
right?
Which we had shot most of, but we were actually still out shooting the last of when we hit 1,000 subscribers,
Which was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, not at all expected. I know you were watching
like a hawk,
checking it every 20 minutes or so.
20 seconds. What are you talking about? I kept posting on, I believe it was my personal Facebook page and all that, sharing to my stories and whatnot. I was like, 6 more, 5 more, 4 more. I don't think I could go to sleep. And I fell asleep and I woke up and I was like, 2 more. It was a very fun Friday night, Saturday morning leading into that. And it made for fun refreshes on the YouTube app.
Yes. Yeah. And then it was like the floodgates opened, because immediately after that, we went to the Texas Truck Rodeo.
Right. Put on by the Texas Auto Writers Association.
And YouTube decides to start these YouTube Shorts thing.
Right.
And so we jump in on that and we start messing around with that, and we're uploading videos from the truck rodeo, and within 4 weeks,
right,
we
literally
crested 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah. So what we did in 5 months' time, we turned around and did again in 1 month's time, and we cannot truly say thank you enough for following along on this journey and hitting that subscribe button and helping support us in this journey, because as silly as it may be, we rely on those subscriber counts and the YouTube views to get interesting vehicles in our hands and in the driveway. So the more subscribers we have, the crazier vehicles we can get and the more interesting stuff we can find to get ourselves into.
And I mean, for only having done this, I mean, we're not quite to 100 episodes on the podcast.
Right.
The end of January will be our 2-year anniversary.
Right.
So essentially, we've been podcasting for less than 2 years.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We've been doing consistent YouTube videos for 6 months.
Right. All right. Half a year and we're already at
to
$2,000.
to be where we are, full credit where credit is due. This has been your brainchild. This has been your motivation and your foot on the throttle, I guarantee you, because this is incredible and amazing, and it's been a heck of a ride.
So let me tell you this. I believe it is still the case that like the number one job that middle school and high school kids aspire to is YouTuber. And let me tell you, it ain't easy.
No.
I've got DaVinci pulled up on my computer in front of me right now. I'm editing what will be tomorrow from the time of recording this video. But
right.
by the time you're listening to this, the video will be old news. But like the edit time that goes into each and every one of these videos, I'm trying to streamline that and make it better. And then the whole promoting and social side of it, that's where I just say thank you to you, the listeners and subscribers, for watching and sharing and commenting. You wouldn't believe, you hear every single YouTuber say, hit the subscribe button. This is why.
Yep.
Like and comment. This is why. It really does help because it feeds the ever hungry algorithm and says, okay, this video is gaining traction. People are responding with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to show it to this person now. And then if that person watches it, good, comments on it, better, likes it, comments, and watches it, best.
And subscribes.
Yeah. Again, just thank you for playing along with us on this wonderful, crazy, insane journey that has allowed people to literally hand us keys to insane vehicles.
Right.
I mean, there's been a 1,200-mile road trip in an EV. There's been countless horsepower delivered to us.
Goodness.
So many wonderful sounding V8s and more to come. Because, again, you mentioned we went down to Texas Auto Riders Texas Truck Rodeo. I don't know when I will officially get all the videos out from this event, but there was double-digit number of videos that we shot while we were out there, and now it is my duty to get rid of all the unnecessary and put it together in a beautiful package to deliver to you. So just thank you.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
So yes, YouTube, just insane. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to go with number 2.
Okay.
We'll go a little back and forth here. And this one may be a little, might have a little controversy between the two of us. I wouldn't think so, but I know you, and you just like to, poke the bear. I'm the bear. You like to poke the bear a little bit. Chevy Corvette Z06.
Yeah.
I'm in love with it. I want one in the driveway. Don't know how I'd get it up my driveway. I want one yesterday.
Yeah.
So before opening it up to your thoughts and opinions, we very recently got to drive a Z51 performance package standard grade C8 Corvette, and that has the less powerful 6.2 liter V8, which only has 495 horsepower and only has 670 pound-feet of torque,
which I'm pretty sure both those numbers are very underrated.
Right. So then Chevy went, and on October 26th, so about a little under a month ago, went and unveiled with this 25-minute movie on YouTube what we've all really wanted in the performance realm, and that is the Z06 version.
Right.
Because we knew we were going to get something even crazier.
Yeah.
The standard package is insane enough, and then they just upped it an ante. It's 3.6 inches wider. It has an actually smaller engine, so it's a 5.5 liter flat plain crank V8 that revs to 8,600 RPM. Sucker will do whop. It's insane. And 0 to 60 in about 2.5 seconds. So cutting about half a second off the 0 to 60 time. which is great, but this isn't meant to be a drag car. It's meant to be a track car.
Right.
And while 0-60 acceleration is cool and all, it's just part of the overall package of the Z06 Corvette. And you take it up an even further notch and get the Z07 Performance package, which has increased aero, carbon ceramic brakes. You could get carbon fiber wheels that reduce the weight by 40 pounds. I don't know if that's 40 pounds per wheel. That sounds insane, but that seriously,
it's probably 40 total, probably 10 pounds a wheel.
Yeah. So just insane what you can get optioned on this, and they haven't released prices as of us recording this.
Right.
But I can only imagine what a Z07 equipped Z06 Corvette Stingray would cost. I've already built mine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take it to a track. Coda would probably be the best place for me to take it, and that ain't happening. So, I just went, standard grade Z06, convertible.
Standard grade.
Yeah. I'm sure I'm flirting with 120K with the one I built.
Probably, yeah, pretty easy.
I just,
you start adding all the carbon bits, and it'll be mid 100s probably.
Surprisingly, I found it easy not to check all the boxes because Chevrolet has an online configurator, which is totally 3D inside and outside, and you can customize and change. However, again,
is it better than the standard build and price?
Yes, it's completely interactive because you can pan around and look all around at the interior, and you can zoom around on the outside. You can drag and take pictures of your car just so you can turn the lights on and off. You can take the roof on and off. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I spent a while on the configurator.
Yeah.
So, and of course, I had to go with the Rapid Blue and the two-tone interior.
Of course.
Which, even though it is a matching blue to the Rapid Blue exterior, the interior color is torsion blue. So go figure that. But I love it. I love it. And it's accented with some navy. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I want it.
You ready for me to pop your bubble?
I knew you would. Go ahead. Let me have it.
All right. So because I am not the resident fanboy, because I'm not the guy who swoons all over everything C8 and Chevrolet and all that, I want to point out some Ford factors in your Corvette.
Okay.
Smaller displacement, more horsepower.
Okay.
Flat plane crank.
Okay.
Dual overhead cam.
Okay. So you think they stole this technology from Ford? Because I'm pretty sure it's been around.
It has been around for decades.
Yeah. Okay.
For decades.
Hey.
And they're just now coming to the point of going, if we tie a chain between the cams and the crank and move the cams up in the heads, I bet we can get this thing to RPM better than $6,000.
What is the number one swapped engine into other vehicles, ever?
It's the LS engine.
Right.
Because it's antiquated and dependable. I get that.
Okay.
And I'm totally fine with that.
Okay. So why are you complaining? Why are you hating on my Z06?
Because it has taken General Motors decades to decide to go with an engine that will do better for them than what they can get out of a pushrod motor.
I'm pretty sure they've had some others along the way.
They have had.
Right. And it wasn't around for long, and it was only available in one vehicle.
Right.
But the Blackwing engine that was bespoke to Cadillac that they have now ripped the name from and put...
Yeah.
There's a lot of controversy around that. Amazing engine that gearheads have been clamoring for. Put that in everything.
Yeah.
Why are you not putting that in everything?
Sure.
But hand-built engine, much like this 5.5 liter V8 is.
Right.
Hand-built. I will say, the most horsepower from a naturally aspirated V8 in a production car ever.
And it's nuts.
670 horsepower.
And I am totally on board with that. I'm totally on board with the smaller displacement per horsepower. I love all of the things, all of the
Right.
the technological, mechanical advancements that have gone into this engine. What I'm upset about is that it took GM so long to get there. Like,
Yeah.
and they're touting it as being this new, amazing, wonderful thing.
Well, it is.
It's not.
Oh, but it is.
There have been flat plate cranks in Ferraris for 50 years.
Yes, but that's the Italian way of doing things, and it sounds different.
Sure, it does. But it works so much better.
Yes. Look, to your point, the old way of doing things was just that, old and antiquated, but it was dependable and it worked. And it's the reason why that it's like the most engine swapped engine ever.
I get that. I get that. It just bothers me that they want to promote and push this thing. Well, you got a video of a Ferrari over there going?
No. That's a Corvette. Oh. They had to specially engineer the exhaust because it was too quiet in the cabin to reverb back to the driver so that they could hear it. And it was crazy. Like, they took the old exhaust design, threw it out the window, and said, all right, starting from scratch. And yeah.
Well, I would hope that with a completely redesigned engine that they would start from scratch on an exhaust manifold anyway.
Well, I'm saying from what they originally came up with on that, because they realized it wasn't loud enough and did not sound good enough in the cabin. So they said, needs to be louder, throw it out, go again. So, yeah.
Do you understand my complaints, though?
Yes, I can. Would you? Okay. So your essential thought is get with the times, right?
Yes.
So why wouldn't it be an electric Corvette? I mean, get with the times, Matt.
Because they can't make an EV act like and be this dependable and with the same amount of range
right,
and usability as what this engine will be.
Right. Rumor has it, I mean, the General has committed 2035, all their light duty. I don't know how the Corvette fits into this weird proclamation that 2035 they're going to quit making ICE engines for light duty vehicles, but this may be the V8 swan song of the Corvette.
And on that note, that leads me to the next thing that I'm thankful for.
Okay.
Internal combustion engines.
You couldn't help yourself. I am incredibly grateful for it too. Lest I remind everyone, I've already said it once, the 1,200-mile road trip to Amarillo and back in an EV took twice as long to get there as
26 hours total. 1,200 miles, 26 hours. That means you averaged less than 50 miles an hour.
Yeah. And let me tell you, I was going through nothing plains of Texas and Oklahoma. I was going a little faster than 50 miles an hour. I won't say how much, but it was faster than 50.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, all right. Okay, here's another one that I am very thankful for. And again, it'll be interesting to see. We may have seen it in person by the time this episode goes out, but I am incredibly grateful for what is happening in the off-road world. The off-road wars, I believe, are in full swing. I believe it is the present day horsepower wars. So when you and I were coming of driving age, it was sports cars, two-door sports cars for us. Pony cars, stuff like that. The Camaro Mustang battle the Camaro was about to be phased out, but that doesn't matter. That's beside the point. But
no, it matters.
That's where it was. You know, the Challenger came back and threw its hat in the ring, and that's where the horsepower wars were at the time. Now it's the off-road wars.
Okay.
Not necessarily the off-road horsepower wars because there are like so many different ways to approach wheeling, but just think about some of the amazing vehicles that if they're in stock or if you can get them, you can go out to the dealership, buy and take to Moab or take anywhere crazy. Wrangler Rubicon 4xe, Gladiator.
Whoa.
What?
Wrangler Rubicon Extreme 392.
Yes. Ram 1500 TRX. What else we got? Ford F-150 Raptor and
F-150 trimmer.
And
Ranger
at
trimmer.
some point, the F-150 Raptor R with a proper V8 under the hood, we can hope. And let's see what else is. I mean,
F-250 trimmer.
Yeah, the Trail Boss, which, but you're listing trimmers. The ZR2 Silverado in Colorado.
Right.
Both of those are a huge step up over the base truck. ZR2 even more so. Well, the AT4 and AT4X from GMC. I have to throw those in there. And then, we're joking about electric, but the Hummer truck and Hummer, the two Hummer vehicles from GMC.
Yeah.
So they're coming out with the truck version and the SUV version, which have like upwards of 11 inches of ground clearance and some pretty crazy tricks up their sleeve. The Rivian R1T, which is a crazy off-road electric vehicle. Like, just with... I used to have a remote control car that could do donuts in place.
Right.
The R1T can do that because of its 4 independently controlled electric motors. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that is out there that you can, if you've got the right amount of money, just go out and buy it right now. The off-road wars are just heating up, and I am here for it all day.
Well, and even things like the TRD, right? There's TRD Pro, there's TRD Off-Road.
Right.
There's this new off-road package from Toyota that's supposed to be like an entry-level off-road version. The Pro 4X from Nissan. Even companies like Subaru are getting in on the off-road action with the Wilderness editions, the Forester and the Outback to date.
Who knows what else?
One can only hope that there's a Crosstrek in the mix as well eventually, but and even an Impreza I think would be a lot of fun. A WRX with that turbo 2.4 and a little extra ground clearance, and
it'd be a lot of fun.
It'd be pretty mean.
So as we are debuting this episode, LA Auto Show is going on, and Chevy, I hope, will also be bringing said vehicle that I'm about to mention to the LA Auto Show, but they have recently, as we're recording this, announced that they are bringing the Chevy Beast to the SEMA show, which is based off of a Silverado platform. It's a 4-seater, 4-door vehicle. I don't want to call it a truck because in the back they've got 2 spare full-size spares in the back, and it's kind of a crossover. It's got tubular steel doors. It looks amazing. It's a stripped down, as you put it, it's a stripped down Tahoe with an LT4, supercharged LT4 under the hood.
Right.
So every complaint you had about the Silverado ZR2, not enough power, same old engine, blah, 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 blah. This takes it up a notch. And
sure.
This is Chevy Performance and Chevy Trucks flexing their muscles and saying, hey, look, this is possible. We, as the gearhead community, have to show enough interest in the darn thing that they give us some version of it in reality.
Well, and therein lies the issue that I have with it. And we prefaced this and then put a hold on the conversation so that we could get it recorded. But,
right.
This is never coming to production.
Not as is, no.
No possible way.
I want some version of that now. I immediately went to K5 Blazer when I saw it. I was like, okay, it's built on the Silverado, so it's not meant to go up against the Ford Bronco. It's not meant to go up against the Wrangler because it's bigger.
Right.
But the K5 Blazer was always a full-size rig. And let's face it, it's kind of white space in the market right now. Unless you're talking about the Raptor, a crew cab Raptor, it really is white space in the market
Right.
that is not being tapped. So if we got a quote unquote street legal version of this, and if you want to see pictures of it, head on over to gtgaragetalk.com/blog.
You can see how hideous it is.
No, what? What are you talking about?
It looks like a video game truck.
And your complaints are? Like,
My complaints are SEMA, yes, this is appropriate at SEMA. This is not appropriate at the LA Auto Show or the Chicago Auto Show or whatever, because this is not a production vehicle. And as wild as this is and as wild as this looks, there's no way this makes it to production. To me, this is like, we're going to show you what we could do,
right,
but we're not going to do it. I
mean, that's what show cars are. And if, as I said, if there is enough interest from gearheads like you listening, we will get something.
Okay.
Give us something.
Okay. We gearheads have been begging for a legit competitor from General Motors to the TRX and the Raptor for a decade.
Yeah.
And they have copped out yet again. What makes you think they're building this? Or anything close to it?
The fact that it even exists. The fact that they were able to actually scrap something together behind the closed doors at Renaissance Tower and say, you know what would be cool? And then they gave us this.
This is a publicity stunt.
I don't care. If enough people like it, they would be stupid not to build something like it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Get on the bandwagon here, because if you aren't, it absolutely would never get made. Like, we need more people drinking the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid with me. It's good stuff. Like, come on. Oh my goodness. Like I said, this addresses every complaint you had about the ZR2.
In its capability, absolutely.
Yes. There's a big but coming.
I don't like the look of it at all. It's not useful for anything but going off-road.
Again, it's a SEMA, it's a show car. And yes, it is a publicity stunt, but the bones, look at the bones. It's like,
okay.
Did you ever watch Fixer Upper or anything like that? They always talk about look at the bones when you go in a house. Don't look at paint color.
You're right.
So the bones of this is what I care about. I don't care what it looks like, because obviously they will not deliver this to us. I was salivating when I opened the press release from this, because I was like, oh, the possibilities. Please, Chevy, bring me this. Some version of this. Because I'm in the minority. I still want an old school two-door Tahoe.
Oh, well, sure. Yeah.
Well, I don't know that I'm in a minority of that, because like they're going for ridiculous amounts of money nowadays. But like, I'm okay with a full-size two-door vehicle, even with a kid that has to go in a car seat.
Right.
Because because I want it. Enough said.
Sure, absolutely.
So, yeah. Oh, my goodness. I want it.
All right, well, I'm going to move on.
Okay. I knew I can only keep you on this topic for so long.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah, okay.
This one is press related.
Okay.
We have had the opportunity over the past 6 months to be blessed with multiple press vehicles.
Yes.
We've mentioned a couple of them already in the episode. Started with TRD 4Runner and a Lexus NX 300.
Bless its heart. That one just did not get many views. You and I were so confused by that vehicle because it was not made for us. And the fact that it was one of the first two delivered to us.
Yeah.
It was a head scratcher. Don't get me wrong. It was a fun little vehicle. It was fun to carve the corners in and put a smile on both of our faces. It
was what started the consensus of, if this had 100 more horsepower kind of thing.
Yes.
And it was a lot of fun. It was fun to push into the corners a little bit. I didn't care for the exterior design and look and that type of thing. But
we also got the last year model of that design,
Right,
and the 22s were
already on their way out. And I'm with you. Since then, we have had the Mach-E.
Mm-hmm.
We have had Ranger trimmer.
Mm-hmm. TRD Pro Taco.
TRD Pro Taco. We've had the F-150 King Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Power Boost. And an Expedition Max, which
we fell in love with here at the Fornique household.
Yeah.
Perhaps more than we ought to. My wife and I still talk about it.
Really?
Yeah. And like for our life stage right now, even though we only have the one kid, it's the one that we were probably most sad to see leave us from the everyday livability of it, with the exception of the fuel economy. Like we saw a pretty consistent 16 mpg on it. And so.
But it's also a full-size SUV.
Yeah.
A full-size four-wheel drive SUV to be
with the extended wheelbase. So
right.
It was big. And we couldn't have parked. We cannot. I did not attempt it, but we cannot park that one in our garage. Would not happen.
No.
So I should that should have been a short
right
there.
That would have been a good short.
In and of itself. Trying to thread the needle.
Will it fit Cory's garage?
It wouldn't. I can tell you right now, it wouldn't. Because I don't know if you watched my wife bring her midsize SUV in as you were coming over to record tonight.
Right.
It was a pretty snug fit for the Jeep Cherokee. Yeah. So, just plus that up a little to a full-size rig.
Right.
You would have absolutely had to fold the mirrors in. In.
Oh, definitely.
And then how far to the only door we use to get in and out of the garage from the house would you have to, like, we'd be touching the front of the garage with that thing. It was big. This house was not built with that vehicle in mind.
Right.
Of course, this is a house that's been around since the 60s, so there's that.
Sure. Well, my house was built in '83, and my F-150. Moment of silence.
That's enough.
Ouch.
You were always complaining about the modular 5.4.
Yep, I was.
Yeah, so.
And I miss that truck desperately. But
glutton for punishment is what you were.
Pretty much. My F-150, I had to take the hitch out of the receiver
to get it.
Otherwise the garage door wouldn't shut. And that was with the front bumper against the wall in my garage.
One of these days, I will have a garage that I can easily pull my C8 Corvette into.
Right.
That is not atop a 15-degree incline. That also has room for, assorted trucks and SUVs and
whatever.
Two-door
Tahoe and K5 Blazer.
Fun thing I can find.
Right. The forbidden Z28.
Yeah, that one may have to reside elsewhere, but one of these days, I will. I've about resided myself to the fact. It doesn't matter.
Resigned.
There you go.
Yeah.
That I want a 35th anniversary SS. Even though I think red paint jobs are overrated and blah blah blah. I had a 45th anniversary Camaro SS for a year before the finances just reared their ugly head and said this wasn't a good fit right now. What could I say? I had just turned 25 and, guy's insurance goes down.
Sure.
And I had just gotten a raise. Like, it was a perfect storm. So I had to get it and sow my wild oats or whatever. And I had it for a year. And so it would be poetic to, step back a decade and get the 35th anniversary. And, I loved, everybody calls them the catfish Camaros now. That is the Camaro that I fell in love with that got me to love cars in the first place.
Right.
So if it weren't for the fourth gen Camaro, there would be no GT Garage Talk. So there's that. We'll throw that out there.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have to have conversations about ugly wannabe will never happen LT4 powered off-road goofiness.
The fact that they were able to even get it out into the public eye is a step in the right direction. That's all I say. This is the company that has pledged all electric, and yet they tease us with this.
Hang on just a minute. Are there any videos of this?
No. Yet. But no.
So this could all be CG. I know at least one or two of the pictures are CG.
No, well, yes. They have one CG press image, and I made sure that if you share this blog post, that it's not sharing that stupid CG. This is a real thing, and it will be at the SEMA show. So you can check it out in the flesh. It does exist. It is a real thing.
Maybe we should go to SEMA and see it in person.
I would love to. I would absolutely love to.
When are we going?
Well, by the time that anyone's listening to this, SEMA's over. LA's going on right now.
I know.
So, yeah. But I hope they also bring this to LA. I want to see it. I want to hug somebody for this vehicle that it exists. So how did we end up back here? I was lusting over all things Camaro, and then we came back here. So
GM fanboy garbage again.
If it weren't for the Camaro, there would be no GT Garage Talk. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, goodness.
Whose turn is it? My turn?
It's your turn.
Okay. So we are almost a month out, and this is perhaps the first mention of it on our podcast, but I am grateful for our second annual GT Garage Talks Unlikely Heroes Car Show presented by Car Wash by Kane at Hilltop Church of the Nazarene. That happened October 23rd of 2021.
Yeah.
Our second car show, our second live event.
Car Show 2.0.
Yep. About 5 months worth of planning finally all came together. It's that last week about killed me both years now. Just everybody waiting too long to decide to register their vehicle, and then just the flood in the last 2 or 3 days of got another registrant. I'm like, thank you. But we had some really cool cars this year. I mean, we did last year.
Yeah.
And we had a few repeat guests.
Yeah.
Dr. Lieberman with his Performante Lamborghini. And then we had Wes LaRue with Franken Truck.
Yeah.
Which he has already foreshadowed when he comes back to 3.0.
That's right.
It will look just a little different than it does now. So he's already scheming up some things to enhance it for next year. He's carried home a trophy both years so far. I can't remember. I do believe this year it was Pelche Subaru's Longest in the Tooth Award because he was the highest mileage vehicle of any of the vehicles there. I do believe your rig came in a pretty close second.
And I'll tell you, my wife was very disappointed that we were beat out by that truck because 290,000 miles on the Navigator.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this though, it probably wouldn't have looked too good if one of our hosts walked home with one of our trophies.
It's the host's wife.
Yeah, but just throwing that out there. So 300 plus ish miles, 1,000 miles on Franken Truck, and I'm happy to see it each and every year.
Definitely.
Oh my goodness, we had amazing food this year.
Oh wow.
Lily's Catering, which I know most of you are not in the East Texas area, but if you are and can find a way to get a hold of Lily's Catering, their Texas style cheesesteak that Derek brought me over after the show had closed. He's like, I just want you to try this, Cory. I about fell over. It was so good.
Okay. So they were listing off, or I saw the list of pies, and I said something to Emily about the pies, and she's not much of a pie fan.
Okay.
And I was going down the list. I had pecan pie and a couple other things, and then sweet potato pie. And
I mean, 'tis the season.
I've never been a huge fan of sweet potato pie.
Right.
Probably because it was a pretty consistent generator of trust issues, expecting it to be a pumpkin pie.
Yes.
And it turning out to be a sweet potato pie. Let me tell you what.
Okay.
I would not at all be upset if that was the sweet potato pie I got a hold of instead of a pumpkin pie. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely the best sweet potato pie I have ever had. Hands down.
Mighty strong words, but yes, I had the brisket tacos and then again the aforementioned Texas style cheesesteak at the end of the show. So good. We added to the show this year with a new element courtesy of my wife's awesome brain, and that was a Touch a Truck event for the youngins. And we had a Cherokee County patrol vehicle.
Yeah.
With working lights and sirens and stuff, which I may or may not have heard once or twice during the show.
Accidentally.
Yeah. We had a Tyler PD Explorer.
Yeah.
Patrol rig, yeah. Not one, but two fire trucks show up.
Well, three, technically.
Well, yeah. But two fire engines.
Yes.
And a third.
It was a brush truck. But Tyler Fire Department had to say adios after about a couple hours, and they graciously were replaced by Chapel Hill Fire Department, and just awesome to see those rigs out there. You all brought a school bus from White House ISD, so I know our two sons were in there at one point driving my wife to the beach in Mexico. So I think Tucker came up with the beach, and Ethan came up with Mexico. So, driving to the beach in Mexico, other than, the trip, ain't a bad destination. No, sounds pretty good.
Quite a drive. Did it have air conditioning?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that was
okay. But quite a drive in a school bus.
Definitely, yeah.
Not the rig I would take for said adventure, but again, the destination. Kind of worth it. So, but yeah, that was fun. Popping my head in there and talking to the three of them. Holly was like, "Yeah, I'm going to the beach in Mexico. What are you doing?" So, awesome to have that Touch a Truck event. We had bounce houses and all kinds of fun stuff, in addition to all the crazy rides and rigs that we had out there. And then to wrap it all up, so Car Wash by Kane is a student-run car wash here it's actually in White House.
Yeah.
Run by high school students, and a friend of the car wash passed away tragically in a car accident earlier in the month. And we pledged $5 from every vehicle registration. Mm-hmm. We turned around and matched it, and we were able to, with some donations, make a $350 pledge to the funeral expenses. And so we're just very glad to give back to a local family in the process. That, again, I don't want to sound like Vin Diesel here or anything from Fast and Furious, but the automotive culture is like family, and we lost one of our own. And so just to be able to give back in a time of grief and mourning was special. On top of that, the Car Wash by Kane's People's Choice Award went to family.
Yeah.
So all
Very
around, just an amazing event. Had so much fun. Was a little more relaxed during the event than I was last year. I had technical issues that just ruined my day from the moment I woke up last year that were, thank the Lord, not even a problem this year. And you and I were able to find time to kind of float around and talk to people a whole lot more. I know you got a lot of time talking to people last year, but I was busy making sure this happened and that happened. And again, working through technical issues. So
it was fun. It was interesting. I actually found myself not able to walk around nearly as much this go around as I did last time. And just the semantics of how everything worked out. But still heard some really cool stories of some different vehicles, and got to hang out with some fun folks. And we're going to do it again.
Yes. So we've already got conversations started with potential sponsors, potential partners, looking forward to 3.0 and doing it again. We didn't even mention we had 2 Colombian imported vehicles at the show, one of which was never sold in any way, shape, or form here in the States, in a 1980 Nissan Patrol 4x4.
Really, really cool little rig.
Yeah. And I do believe our pastor was most upset that did not win the People's Choice Award. It came in pretty close. I don't remember the final tally of all the voting, but
it was a solid second place.
Yeah, it was very close.
Yes.
So, check it out. We do have pictures up on our website, so gtgaragetalk.com/carshow. Our good friends over at One Off Productions were there taking pictures for us at this event. And so we got some pretty sweet pictures of all the rigs that showed up. Vehicles kept showing up throughout the day. And I liked it for the fact that you turn around and, there's a old BMW 7 Series here. Or, look at that 1969 Camaro Z28 over there. Or, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
The weather, threatened, sprinkled on us just enough that Dr. Lieberman went and put the top up on his Lamborghini, only to immediately put it back down. But it was a good day. A little warmer than last year, but it was a good day.
I sweat through 2 shirts this year instead of having to wear a jacket for most of the morning. So
yeah, I planned it on the 3rd weekend of October for multiple reasons. One, it was after my birthday, so I could actually somewhat enjoy my birthday and not put it on top of.
Right.
Plus, we're in East Texas, so there's this, minor thing of the Texas Rose Festival, which is one of the biggest tourist draws.
Oh, sure.
In the city, happening usually on my birthday weekend. So I wanted to follow up all the good stuff that happened there.
With more good stuff.
Right, with our car show the very next weekend. So anyway, I picked a late in October, hoping that Texas weather would cooperate. It at least wasn't 100, so we have that to thank. So
you're right, it was not 100 degrees. I am looking forward to next year. Like you mentioned, we're already in discussion for things that we can do bigger and better moving forward, and some of the fun that we had this year, some of the things that went really well this year, especially the Touch-A-Truck, bounce houses and stuff like that. I think we'll lean into more of that next year. And I'm,
I heard rumor, as we were planning this, that we had connections to a helicopter. I'm slightly disappointed there wasn't a helicopter at the Touch-A-Truck. So who knows?
Yeah,
maybe next year.
Maybe next year. That would be pretty wild. That would be pretty wild.
I mean, we definitely have the room for it. So
sure, yeah.
Space is not an issue as far as getting people in and around a helicopter. But I probably wouldn't want to be around during landing and takeoff because it is a field of brush that is mostly dead. It would stir up quite a mess. But
lots to be thankful for from this past year. And a lot to be thankful for moving forward, right? We're at 2,000 subs. We're gaining.
And climbing.
I mean, almost daily we're adding to that. And it is all because of you, our listeners, you, our subscribers, you, our patrons.
Thank you. Thank you.
We would still be in a closet at the church recording this, 2 years in.
Right.
If it weren't for those of you listening. And
instead, we're in a more or less dedicated studio now. So looking forward to bigger and better things. As we sit here and record this, I was just interviewed today for a local magazine publication.
Yeah.
And the question was asked, where do you want the podcast to take you? Specifically asking about the podcast and who would you want to interview? And I mean, we've had so many awesome guests so far. I don't want to discredit any of them. And there are so many people I would absolutely love to talk to. But like the easiest answer to that question, and that's not to discredit him either, but just the known car guy that he is, Jay Leno.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh, man.
Perhaps the craziest collection of vehicles owned by any one person with his garage. And on top of that, like we interview people on our podcast, he interviewed people for how many decades on The Tonight Show? So like just to be able to pick his brain and to learn from him in that respect.
Definitely.
And then to look at his cars.
We have to do that one in person.
Yes. Well, naturally.
Period.
Absolutely. And we have to travel to him instead of,
Yes.
having big egos by, 5 years in, by that point and making him travel to us. No.
Right.
We absolutely have to go out there for that one.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. So, yes.
So, and we can end off with this. What's something you're looking most forward to for 2022? So this is Thanksgiving of 21. We're kind of winding up this year. Our car show's over. There's not much else going on when it comes to, LA Auto Show's going on, and I know that, but like 2022 is literally 2 months away.
Right.
Less than by the time this airs.
Yeah, just over a month.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to the most in the next 12 months?
Oh, you're asking me.
I'm asking you.
Oh, I thought you were asking our listener.
No,
okay.
I'm asking you.
Oh my goodness. So we are in the middle of car show season. It's a different car show season than we are used to in automotive media. I got back this summer from Chicago, which was postponed to the summer, but they typically have that in the winter. Most car shows happen in the cold months and in cold climates, which I'm lucky. LA, November, it's a good fit. So not so worried about the climate there, but looking forward to going to more car shows, seeing more vehicles, getting behind the wheel of more vehicles.
Yeah.
You and I have already driven not one, but two Toyota Tundras. Almost said Tacoma, but two Toyota Tundras.
Yeah.
Looking forward to getting one on our home turf.
Oh, sure.
And putting it through its paces here. Just so many more vehicles that I want to drive. Like you listed off everything that we've gotten so far. Just scratching the surface, Matt. Just scratching the surface. I don't know if you remember, people my age and the book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, he'll want a glass of milk. If you give him a glass of milk, blah, blah, blah. And it just balloons and balloons and balloons from there. Well, we've been given a cookie. We've been given a glass of milk. I want more. It's just getting going and just getting started. I'm so thankful for everyone listening to the sound of our voices right now. I'm thankful for everyone who has subscribed on YouTube because, as lame as it might sound, because all YouTubers say it, it really does help when you subscribe. It really does help when you comment and give us feedback on what we're doing well and what we're not, because it helps us point the ship in that direction.
Yeah.
There's more that we want to do. And I know I'm probably going to steal this from you because I know you want to do it. I too want it to happen. I will probably be less help than you, but I want to get to the point where we are building crazy rigs on our YouTube channel. And I want to get to the point where we're creating some interesting and unique content just to us. Because let's face it, there's only so many different ways and different places and things that you can do in a vehicle that's passed around from one journalist to another journalist to another journalist.
Right.
And I absolutely want to be your go-to source for new vehicle information and content. But I also want to create some unique and interesting content exclusive to GT Garage Talk.
Oh, definitely.
You and I have already done some fun stuff unique to us. We've raced a couple of EVs.
Yeah.
There are more such videos in the pipeline.
Yeah.
We just got to secure the vehicles. There's more, but building vehicles and buying vehicles. I can't wait till the channel buys its first vehicle.
It better not be anything government. General Motors.
Well, no promises.
I will make you a deal.
Okay.
I will be okay with it not being anything Famoco as long as it's not anything GM.
Okay. I'm not agreeing to it, but I'm considering my options here. So
there's a lot of good stuff way outside of Government Motors
and Famoco, because let's face it, I ain't going there either. So yeah.
I'm just saying.
We shall see.
I'm just saying.
You're not going to get me recorded on air agreeing to anything. So you try as you might. It ain't going to happen. But yes, what are you looking forward to most in calendar 2022 as it looms ever so near?
I'm looking forward to leaning more and more into what we're doing. Mm-hmm. You know, your day job right now is writing for vehicle history, and then somewhere you fit in time to edit videos, so that you are listeners. It's going to be after
you leave tonight.
Yeah. So. You, our listeners, and our viewers get to experience what we've experienced. But I would love for both. I guess this is more of a hope than a something to look for. It's something to look forward to. But the opportunity for both of us to lean more into GT, and have more time specifically for that in the coming months and especially years, but in the next 12 months for sure, to have more flexibility with what we're doing and how often we're doing it, and
yeah, because you never know when you'll get a text or a phone call saying, hey, I've got this Corvette that I want you to drive. And oh, by the way, I also have this Corvette and this Corvette and this Corvette. I haven't even told you that story, but basically we have a transplant from the Austin area, good friend, with our friend Sean Jones of Corvette Invasion. Go back and listen to that episode if you haven't yet. Moved here from Austin. His garage is smaller here on the lake than it was in Austin, and he finds himself needing to shed a Corvette or two in the process. So he has asked for our help to review and help sell a Grand Sport Corvette, but he also has a C2 resto mod, a C1 resto mod. I think he's got at least one of every generation. His C8 is a Lingenfelter Performance upgraded C8 that he took delivery of at the factory in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Wow.
And as he puts it, is one of one, because the way he spec'd it is the only color combination of that combination
right.
in existence. I can't remember if he got a 20 or a 21 or... I can't remember. It's the metallic brown, so I don't know if it's Zeus bronze, I believe is what it was called, or Zeus bronze was replaced with caffeine. So I don't know the official name, but it's the metallic brown with a two-tone caramel and black interior with the GT2 seats. I believe GT2. Anyway, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's very nice. And like I said, Lingenfelter performance upgrades, and yeah. You just... never know when you'll get that phone call or text saying, hey, I've got this whatever vehicle.
Sure.
Would you like to review it?
Yeah, definitely.
The answer is always yes.
Right.
When it comes to the two of us.
And for you, our listeners, the answer will probably be yes. If you have a crazy, wild, fun, goofy, amazing, spectacular, super expensive, super cheap vehicle that you want us to review, let us know.
We still have I believe, 5th gen Camaro Z28 that has been offered to us to review that we need to get around to reviewing. We've got that to look forward to. Now that our car show's behind us, we can lean more into that. But if you do have an interesting vehicle you would like for us to review on our channel, send us an email at gtgaragetalk@gmail.com. Go find us at gtgaragetalk.com. There's a form on the bottom of our homepage. You can do it there. Find us Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all at GT Garage Talk.
All the things.
Are you catching a theme here?
Yeah.
Made it
subscribe,
very simple.
comment.
Yep. And until next time, bye.